Hey everybody. If you have any interest in Australian metalcore, there is absolutely no way you haven't heard of both of these bands. With a supercharged co-headline tour on the way, we have two bands chatting to us today about one of the biggest cross-country album tours we have seen in a very long time. Deadlights released their sophomore album, The Uncanny Valley, in mid-2021. Having played a bunch of shows supporting Polaris recently on the Vagabond tour, the guys are a month away from touring with The Plot and You to give you just a little taste of what to expect on their upcoming album tour this November. Please welcome frontman Dylan.
Hello, nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to be chatting with you again, dude.
Yeah.
And not just Deadlights on this huge tour. We have Mirrors as well, the Gippsland superstars who just finished whipping around the country with While She Sleeps. The Ego's Wait, the band's debut album, has been ripping into our ears since late last year. And just as with Deadlights, this album tour has been a long time coming that I think a lot of fans are waiting for. So please also welcome frontman Paddy.
Hello, Lili. Good to be here.
Hey, dude. All right. You guys, this is going to be an interesting kind of format. I'm basically going to let you both sort of take the reins away from me because you've prepared questions that you're going to ask of each other, which I'm pretty stoked about. For everyone listening in, we're going to cover a bit of the tour. We're going to cover both of their albums a little bit, so sort of creative process stuff, and then obviously some super serious questions about the band members at the end. I'm going to hand it over to you in just a sec, Dylan. And if you want to ask Paddy your first question.
All right, Paddy, hope you got your thinking cap on ready. Your thinking bucket hat should be more likely.
Yeah.
All right, I was thinking about how we both have a hint of like dark sci-fi or fantasy sort of themes in our album artworks. Do you have any like top movies or books or TV shows in those genres that like inspired that?
Look, I guess the only book that comes to mind I've read that I really enjoyed was How to Change Your Mind, The Science of Psychedelics by Michael Pollan. I probably don't read as much as I should, but I really enjoyed that book. Yeah, loved it. But as far as movies go, I'm really into anything like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, like Troy, anything sort of medieval.
Yeah. So you got like that the sorcerer sort of looking ominous like character on the artwork. So
yeah, absolutely. And like even like some of the backing vocals I used in The Ego's Wait in some songs, I sort of drew influence from the Lord of the Rings soundtrack in like all those really sort of backing style vocals. Like some of those vocal minor melodies I sort of definitely took inspiration on and put in songs like Beneath the Sand and
that's
the last page. Yeah,
I love that stuff too. So
you guys, as a huge nerd, I just have to say, like, I swear I'm letting you guys take the reins, but I also need to chime in and just be like, that was like making my little nerd heart so happy right now.
I love that.
Lord of the Rings is like actually live.
It is, isn't it? I've got Aragon's sword Anduril in my room, like a replica of it. It's pretty cool.
I love that. I have little bags. I'm looking at them right now that have like the coins from The Hobbit and then the little stone that Killy throws around the whole movie series.
Mad.
Nerds unite.
Yeah.
I wish we could stay on the nerd train, but Paddy, I got your question in there that if you want to throw it to
Dylan. What is the most wild or memorable show that you guys have played?
I would say that the most memorable show for me was when we did in like the middle of COVID, hadn't played a show in 14 months. And we did a one-off headliner at the Tivoli, which is this stupidly huge venue in Brisbane. But because it was COVID, it was like 50% capacity or something, which was still twice as many tickets as we'd ever done as a headliner before. But we like sold that out. I think people are eager because it'd been so long since we'd played before. And the venue's beautiful. Like it was just like the only other time we played there was when we opened for Parkway Drive, and then we got to play there. And I was like, I was like, holy shit. And then it was just like really cool as well, because we like sort of marketed it as the death of Mesmer, because we were about to release the Uncanny Valley.
That's cool.
And we played Born of a Lie for the first time before it even came out. And then we played like most of the Mesmer songs, and it was sort of like a sayonara to that like era. So it was like a really like sort of sweet moment for us as a band.
That's fucking cool, man. It's such an unreal venue too. Holy crap.
Oh.
So good.
Yeah.
I like to call it the Brisbane version of the Forum, because that's like the Forum here, which is much, much bigger, but it's you know, the old school design, and like everything's like old Victorian, and it's just absolutely stunning. It
is. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, any venue with a mezzanine is just like, that's sick.
Dylan, when you're ready, questions in there for you, mate.
Oh yeah. How awesome was working with Ben, Third Eye Visuals, for music videos? Like, did you lead the direction or just let him do his thing? You guys did 3 with him, did you?
We did, yeah. I think we must have watched. No, Scotty. I was at Scotty's tracking some vocals for The Year Goes Wait, and he's like, "Oh, I want to show you this music video of a new song," and it was Akadama, and I was just like, my jaw was to the floor. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this guy is just insane. I remember he, you know, did a fair bit of work with Parkway, and so we flicked him a message, and he was keen, which we were stoked about. But for the first track, Beneath the Sand, I gave him an idea that I wanted, a sort of broad idea that I wanted, and he just went wild with it. And we were happy. He's got such an artistic mind. We were happy to let him just lead the way. Leave Them Behind. That was the sort of one that we weren't, because we knew what Purple Static was going to be like, and we just wanted to do it somewhere cool and jam out. And we were happy to let him pick the spot, and he did. And that turned out pretty cool too. And then I think for the last song, Purple Static, I didn't think we didn't want to be in it at all. We're just like, just do something completely wild. Just go for it, man. and he definitely did. I've never seen anything like what he did, and we could not be happier. He's the nicest guy to work with. And we will 100% be working with him again.
Yeah, he's got the Midas touch. Everything he does is just gold. It's just so good.
It is, and he works so hard as well. Like, you know, if you ask him for something, you don't hear back 2 days later, and you know, he's straight onto it. He gets it done. He's just a great dude. So 100% will be working with him again.
Yeah, for sure.
Go for it, Patty. I've got a question in there.
Yeah, Dylan, you guys have a super unique sound. How does your writing process start? And if you had to name 3 bands or artists that had influenced Deadlights, who would they be?
I'd say the writing is probably like mostly done by Tynan musically. Like he just makes songs. His inspo, like instrumentally, is like riffs, and like the way that he sort of writes like I guess the sort of like breakdown sections and like the heavy riffs and stuff is like straight up Tom Morello inspired. He loves Rage Against the Machine. Battle of Los Angeles is his favorite album. So I think that has a lot into like why we aren't going down to F and stuff, and he wants to keep it in that sort of like chordy riff zone. Because he loves riffs like that. And I think that'd definitely be one of them. Like another one of them would probably be Carnival or Tool, or just bands that have that sort of like modal minor sort of like vocal arrangements when it comes to like the melodies and stuff, so that he can, because I know he loves that sort of like playing with the major and the minor key in songs, and I feel like that's sort of like another one that really takes it there. For me, like lyrically, I've always really been like a big fan of artists who tell take like more of a narrative story spin. Like I'm not going to write about heartache when I'm not heartbroken, and I'm not going to write about like, you know, something that I don't have and can't feel myself. So I like to like bands that take it to more of like a existential level, and even bands that like Structures or Northlane that do that as well, who are like right within our genre. But I really love the way that in a lot of their music, especially like the older stuff, you get that sort of like existentialism that really like feeds into what we do as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I really admire that sort of narrative style writing as well, not just sort of, you know, writing a certain way and bringing a certain vibe just because that's the vibe of the, you know, the demo sort of thing. Just it's really going above and beyond. So respect.
Yeah, thanks, mate. All right, I got something for you. We're both one word plural name bands. We got Mirrors and Deadlights. What are some other plural bands that you dig?
I'm gonna have to say Volumes.
Yeah.
I think Tyson introduced me to those guys, all their music, that with their album No Sleep. And I had that on repeat for the better half of the year, I reckon.
True.
Like I sort of, I think after my high school band, I sort of went off music for maybe 3 years and just didn't really do anything. So by the time I got back into it, I'd sort of slept on a lot of it. And yeah, that album No Sleep just blew me away. So definitely Volumes. Architects, special mentioned a Lost Forever, Lost Together. That same thing, that album. Oh, it's just wild. It's just hard. I don't know many albums that just go that hard from start to finish, and lyrically as well.
Yeah. Is that the one that has Seven Circle on it?
Potentially, it's like Grave Digger, Naysayer.
Yeah.
All those sort of. I think it does. Unless that was the one after.
That's my favorite Architects song. It's so good. No,
yeah.
it's on Holy Hell.
Yeah. It was
Everything they
after.
do.
Yeah.
Gods of the genre.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the actual goat. Like they are the epitome of goat in our realm of musical world. Architects equals goat.
Yeah, both musically and like work ethically. It's all there.
Absolutely. And Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to chime in with agreements on the Architects one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I probably finished with Counterparts. I was very late to the party with this. I only got into them with their latest album, Nothing Less Than Love, and I'd sort of just go to the gym and just have it on repeat for a while. I thought, yeah, it just goes hard. So that's free.
Yeah. It's the best format for naming a band, clearly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm actually really impressed that you were able to do that so quickly, because when I read this question, I was like, I don't think I could come up with 3 on the spot. Like I'd need to scroll through my phone and be like, oh yeah, that one. Oh yeah, that one, and like figure it out, like take a minute. So I'm very impressed, Patty.
Oh, thank you.
Your question's in there to ask Dylan whenever you're ready, Patty.
I haven't seen it. Sorry, I can't see where it is.
I've sent it off again.
One sec.
Should come through.
Yes, got it. What's the best piece of advice, Dylan, you could give to a young musician?
Or I guess speaking from like lessons we've learned is don't wait for like some like amazing like unbelievable like opportunity or quick turnaround. You know, you got to just get your music out there, get your name out there. You got to play 30 shows to 30 people before you play 1 to 100, and then from there it's just like the slow progression thing is just to like grind it and keep in there, and don't let a bad show or a bad night or a low review get you down. You just got to just get your music out there and keep going, because like I can't even count the number of Wednesday night to 10 people shows we played before. So it's like I
feel that.
yeah, rock the grind, and love every minute of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I 100% agree. And I feel like as well, some bands are pretty focused on you know, a lot about the image, which is fair enough, but just work hard as a musician and just improving yourself, you know, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the best sounding record in the world of bad songs is still just bad songs, you know.
Yeah.
You just gotta do what you love and make it cool and make it you, and don't worry too much about the big stuff, you know.
Yeah, for sure, man.
You guys, this is so wholesome. I want to throw a question in from myself to both of you to keep on this wholesome train, and then we're going to jump into some rapid fire. But first, I want to ask you guys, you know, both of your albums that you've released last year have just had such a phenomenal response. When Uncanny Valley came out, every single person that I know put like a picture of whatever song they were listening to on their Instagram story and was like, it's Deadlights Day. And then the exact same thing happened when The Ego's Weight came out. It was just like everyone I know. And I'm like, even if I'd never heard them speak about either of your bands before, just everyone jumped on the hype train, which is so amazing. So my question is, in 3 words from each of you, and maybe I'll throw to you first, Patty, in 3 words, like how has that response felt to you? Like the response that you've had from your album, how can you sum that up in 3 words?
Humbling, incredible, and I guess a little bit gobsmacked. You know, you yeah, I mean, you always hope that it goes really well, but you know, just seeing people's personal opinions, just it doesn't get old. So
yeah, it's really exploded. I'm not surprised you're gobsmacked, but I'm also not surprised it's blown up because the album is phenomenal.
thanks so much.
What about you, Dylan? 3 words for how you feel about the response to your latest record.
I'd say heartwarming, exciting, and challenging. It's like heartwarming because it's just so nice to see something you've put so much effort into see people like it, and that's just the best feeling in the world. Exciting because it's just thinking about the future and what it can do for us, and that's bringing us here to this sick tour that we're about to do. And then challenging because now we have to follow it up, so
feel that.
I think you'll, like, if you keep going on the route you're going, you guys will be fine. All right, I'm going to go into a bit of a rapid fire situation, guys. We've still got a couple more questions to cover, but what I want you guys to do is like answer this basically like as quickly as you can, because they're great questions, and I think that we're going to get some funny answers out of them. I'm going to start with you again, Dylan, if you want to refer to the chat. This is a very serious one that we all need to know.
Yeah, Patty, how'd you get so shredded?
I don't know. I just quickly, like, towards the end of the year, every year, just try and get lean. It's good fun. It's a good challenge.
Yeah.
All right, Patty.
Being inside the gym.
If you could change one thing in our industry, what would it be?
The comment section.
Oh, oh, good answer. Very good answer.
Yeah, unreal.
If you had to trade out one of your members of Mirrors between our bands for all the tour drives, who would you want to swap?
Tynan and Jake. Maybe Tynan could teach me how to sing, and Jake could talk unions to you guys.
So good.
What was the first band you ever played in called?
Your Fallen Idol.
True.
Emo kid, represent.
Deadlights is a much easier name.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we're going to tackle our last 2 questions. Feel free to answer these ones in a bit more detail if you need to. I definitely want to make sure that we end on a really serious end. So let's cover off the really important stuff. Dylan, your question's there.
All right, Patty, what do Jake's dreads smell like?
I never actually smelt them, but I reckon we should probably shave them off and see how See how he reacts to that.
Maybe that can be like a nice tour surprise. He just wakes up and all these dreads are gone.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's abuse, guys. Let's not do that. Let's not.
Nah, we won't do that.
I think I pasted it twice, Patty, but it's there for you.
Okay. Do you think you'd have Tyson on toast in a game of skate?
Oh, my flat ground game's pretty good. So I'll go with but
Yeah.
we'll see how we go on tour.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
I love this. You guys, thank you so much. Thanks for jumping on board and like chatting to each other. I think it's really nice. And I think like I can't even underestimate or overestimate for that matter, like how many people are so bloody stoked about this tour. I think you both know that, you know, fans of each of your bands have been waiting for these album tours. So the fact that you get to do it together as a co-headline, it's just phenomenal. One of the things I'm really excited about this tour is that you're going to every single city. Like that hasn't been a possibility for everyone for a really long time, but you're hitting Melbourne, Hobart, Perth, represent, Adelaide, Sydney, and Brisbane. All except Perth with Inertia. And tickets are on sale now starting Friday, 4th of November. I want to give a big shout out to Wall of Sound for hosting this chat for us, and then Destroy All Lines, Resist Records, and Grayscale for getting behind the tour. Final words from you guys to get everyone down. Dylan, what do you got to say?
These are going to be some of like the funnest shows and like in some of the coolest venues that we've done yet. And I think like the relaxation and like just joyous times that we're going to have with like Mirrors and Inertia, who we know we get along with so well, is really going to show on stage. We're all going to be having a good time. And so everyone in the crowd will too.
I love it. And what about you, Patty? Final words to get everyone excited?
Yeah, I think this is going to be for all of us the biggest headline shows we've played to date. Like biggest lighting show, awesome sound. Yeah, we've never played Hobart before. And look, I'm just really stoked to go and hang out with the Deadlights and Inertia boys, to be honest. It's going to be a sick time.
Well, I think it's going to be here before we all know it. I can't wait to get down to the Melbourne show. And yeah, I as a puncher, I love a double headline, like co-headline. It's almost better than just one. Well, it is better than just one because you get two giant acts. And my final question to you guys is, are you gonna swap up headline each night? That's
yes.
Nice, exciting. Are you gonna tell everyone or keep it a surprise until the day of?
We tried to work it out before, but I'm pretty sure it was, you know, yeah, there's three each. You guys can find out on the night, I guess.
I love it. Yeah, keep it a surprise. Keep everyone on their toes. Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so very much, guys. And yeah, good luck getting it all together, and we'll see you in November.
Thanks so much, Lili.
Sick. Thanks so much.